Just gonna do a couple warm-up sets. These are gonna be tempo reps. So we'll pause in the fully stretched position, pause in the contracted position.
All right.
Just control. Okay. So we'll treat this like a top set. Go till failure and then get a couple partial reps.
Okay.
So once I have failure, it's just inability to complete a full rep. Can need my music for this. Good. Lengthen partials. Good. Just keep them moving. Good. Atta boy. Good. You're gonna be cursing me in your next run.
Oh yeah.
We'll just pull one.
Okay.
Yeah, I still find 1 to 2 working sets is ideal.
Yeah.
For where I'm at. Yeah.
I feel like it's such an efficient way to train too. Like you cut out a lot of the BS. Like when I find myself doing like some of the normal sets, I feel like sometimes I'm slacking a lot, or I just get, or the last couple of sets just are like subpar because you're already.
My issue with like, if I try to go back to doing something with 3 to 4 sets is, even if it's not intentional, I still keep something in reserve for the first 1 to 2 sets because I know I've got more coming.
Yeah.
Where it's like if I only get 2 sets, I only get 2 opportunities, and really at 1 set at each weight, 1 opportunity at each weight to just empty the fucking tank, then like you kind of take away that safety net.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't know, as with everything, if you do this for long enough, you should get better at it. And it shouldn't be as hard to create the specific response you want, Like I look at Dorian Yates, the master of hypertrophy. He was doing 1 set per body part. His workout would be 4 sets. And then he hit legs once every 9 days at one point in his growth period. And you're like, I'm not that good at bodybuilding that I could get away with that. So it's like, okay, if compared to that, I still require a lot of volume. Attaboy, there you go. There you go. Yep. Attaboy. You're making it look too easy.
I feel like I got a little cheat because I can't stiffen out the legs as much because maxed out the top.
Yeah, all these machines are made for the perfect 5'10" height here. Next up, we got bad girls.
I don't know if there's an angle for this to look good either, but
you figure that out. You're a rich man.
like how do you view this workout? Because for me, like typically, like I always think of it as like more of like a workout, like a warm up / stabilization type thing. Like for me, it kind of helps like with squats so I don't get knee cave and stuff.
Yeah, to engage the glute med and the piriformis.
Yeah.
That's how I typically use it and program it. It's like by the end of this, we're not gonna build glutes. Yeah. But the next movement we go into will more effectively fire our glutes.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's a necessary movement, but it wouldn't be like if I had to pick specific movements that are pivotal in glute development, this isn't there. Yeah. This is just really good at helping to get them firing. And if you get the opportunity, you want to definitely make eye contact with strangers while you're doing this.
That's how you establish dominance as the gym, is hop on this machine.
That's exactly it. I know I complained when they made them face in the window. I was like, how are they gonna know? I also find by trying to get a little bit closer to hip extension, I can more effectively target like upper, like glute meds. Whereas if I stay over, then you'll target glute max and feel a lot more in your lower glutes.
300 pounds.
We got some cakes.
That is a bad girl.
Trying to be a muscle mommy, okay? Waiting for men's wellness to be a division. Atta boy. You're gonna get some nice heavy breathing audio on this one with that mic getting pushed
I was
up.
gonna say, you usually probably have your headphones and don't ever hear your own like noises that you make while you're lifting. Well, you'll get to this time.
Sick. You're gonna hear me just quietly singing to my music too. Have a cue for you.
All right.
To make these more challenging on the
Perfect.
hamstrings. I want you to keep soft feet. Think of relaxing your feet the whole time.
Like at the ankles, just let them.
Yeah. Try to. At the end, when you're really fighting fast, like to the point of failure, you're obviously everything's gonna tense up. But throughout the set, you're gonna feel way more bias on the hamstring if your feet stay relaxed.
Cut the calves out.
Because think about it, it's like I like how the body's like pretty symmetrical, and so the hamstrings and the biceps are similar in their function. And when you curl, when this is really tense, like my bicep gets 50% of the bias that way, and I'll get a forearm pump before I get a bicep pump. So it's a lot of the same concept when we're in dorsiflexion, just tensed.
Yeah.
Steals bias.
Okay.
When I started applying that cue, all my numbers went way down, which is how I knew it was the right thing to apply. I was like, oh, I'm weak again. This is great. Oh. Oh. Yeah, that's good. Got more. Yup, come on. Down slow. Good control. Do it again. Drive it up. Control. Yep. Down slow. Not so bad. If you say so.
It's great.
It's cool when you're this shreddy because your hamstrings are like knotted up. You can see the separation. It's funny with your super long levers too. Your full ROM for this is not at all touching the ground. Like,
I was gonna ask.
You're like here.
I noticed you went to the ground on yours, and I was like, where do you feel like you get that?
The cue I tell myself is until I can't get my hips any further back.
So,
yeah, and so for me, usually that's here, and I can just extend and touch the ground. But for like your travel length, I'm like, dude, you're probably right here, and like that's equidistant to what I'm doing.
I usually hear that same cue from most people. Like once your hips start moving backwards, you're really not doing yourself any more favors.
Yeah.
By going further.
Well, that's when you round your back. Yeah. Your hips aren't doing the movement, then your back is.
Is there a reason that you do the like the shortened load with the leg curls first, and then do the lengthened, or is it just?
I think I stole it from John Meadows a long time ago, where he would finish a muscle group with like the lengthened load movement.
Okay.
So he would do like example would be like for bicep curls, he'd start with like a cable curl, and then end with like an incline curl where you have way longer stretch position. And I do the same principle with most body parts. But I feel like I get more force out of the shortened position, the ham curls.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I can move
so
my
like
load
a little
that way.
bit of a stronger movement,
yeah. and then come into this. And also, if I did this first and I had to go even heavier load, like risk starts to outweigh potential pros. And so it's probably a bevy of different reasons.
Yeah.
Clean. You can keep you.
There it is. Come on.
Oh.
I think it's great. I think more people need to do a little bit more of both. Maybe not to the extreme, like competing and
Well, yeah.
or I mean, like getting on a bodybuilding stage and doing triathlons. But
No, and if you tried to do both of those, you'd have a good recipe to be mediocre at both.
yeah, but strength training definitely benefits, like the endurance stuff too.
Also, yeah, I always notice when I stay on top of my cardiovascular training, your capacity for performance just skyrockets here.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm not getting so winded during the sets. I'm always going to be winded after this movement, but other movements.
Yeah, it seems like you generally just like a lot of walking.
Yeah, I usually just incline walk.
Yeah.
I do 30 minutes 5 times a week right now, just to stay in a good spot. At least I can put you in a stretch position.
Yeah.
It's no easy feat.
All right, walk me through the setup.
Okay, I like to keep a supinated grip
Whole time?
whole time, and then think of pulling down in an arc. So almost like if you were to underhand throw something, that's your movement pattern. There you go, that keeps the bias on the lat. And again, as you come up, you're releasing outwards and away from you as you come up. There you go. So the shoulder shouldn't be the first thing to move either direction. I want you to try this and see if it doesn't feel any more challenging for just the lat. So right now your movement pattern is as you come down, you're bending the elbow all the way in, so it's this, which still hits the lat. I want you to not let your arm come inside of 90 degrees and focus on coming down, like elbow down behind you, so it's this. We're just gonna do 10 reps, and we're just gonna keep climbing the stack until we can't do 10.
I like it. When you set up for these, do you stagger stance?
Usually I don't. I stand together, but just slightly in front like you are. That way it pulls at the bottom. Nope. That's it.
It's nice to get like an actual bodybuilding workout in again.
Tap back into it.
I appreciate you walking me through, taking a little extra time today.
Of course, man.
Thanks, man.
I was glad you hit me up in advance so we can make it happen.
Yeah.
I haven't pressed any buttons.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hopefully there's some useful content in there.
I think there should be some good stuff.
At the very least, you'll get a lot of grunts and heavy breathing.